Hello everyone, this is Daniel Larson. I love CP.
Fucking arrest.
Holy shit. So you guys all probably already know who Daniel Larson is. If you don't know who he is, I'll give a quick rundown. He's one of those lolcow types you see on TikTok that will just say anything he can think of for attention. He says slurs all the time. He's openly been exposed for being a pedophile. He even has been in prison for the past year because he threatened to bomb the White House, I'm pretty sure. He's overall a terrible person that was put into a rough situation but made it even worse for himself. I'm just going to go over the pedophile stuff real quick so you guys can understand why Daniel Larson does not deserve any sympathy. The simpler one to explain is that he's had a weird infatuation with Grace Vanderwall since she was 17, and he thinks he's been dating her since then. Put a pin in the name Grace Vanderwall because we're going to come back to it later, but we got to go over the second piece of evidence of Daniel Larson being a pedophile. There was a weird account found on Pinterest of Daniel Larson where he just pinned a bunch of pictures of little kids on it. He claimed it wasn't his, and he even went as far as claiming that he doesn't know what Pinterest is.
Somebody was telling me of some type of social platform called Pinterest. Huh. I wonder what type of printer it uses.
So right here, he's just being a pretty, funny little silly guy. He's like, I don't even know what Pinterest is. The video didn't age too well, though, because it was pretty obviously him, and he did admit to it.
Yes, I created the Pinterest, but like I said, there was no child pornography. Yes, it was pictures of kids, though, like underage people. Yes, that part was true. And yes, I did follow all of those strange things.
What's the most illegal thing that you have ever done?
I'll say child pornography.
What? No, nigga. Whoa!
He then went on to say it was a cry for help so people can see it, and then he would blow up, and then he could explain that his caregivers were actually beating him, so he needed the attention first before he did that. But I don't get the thought process here because he's like, I need people to hear what I'm trying to say. What if I pretend to be a pedophile? He's also said countless vulgar things about JoJo Siwa when she was a kid, but I honestly don't feel like getting into that. I wanted to make this video so I could talk about the Olive Garden incident, so I'm going to talk about the Olive Garden incident.
First time at the pharmacy, let's see how it goes.
Yo, put fentanyl in my ibuprofen!
And this story happens to include Grace Vanderwall, so you can take the pen off the wall. I'm going to call Daniel Larson Daniel for short, I guess, but he booked an 8-seat reservation at Olive Garden, and they just gave it to him for some reason. Because Daniel was under the impression he was finally going to meet Grace Vanderwall and her family, and they were going to have a dinner there. Obviously, that didn't happen, and he was getting catfished like Shobo, but he waited around hours for them to come. Obviously, Daniel was live streaming at Olive Garden, because why wouldn't he be? And the people watching him were calling the restaurant and saying crazy things, so of course they just told him to stop recording. And then he just starts saying crazy things, so I'll just play the video.
We have reason to believe that the documents that the manager was printing off is nude photos of me from a online troll website. Okay, I just got sent a picture of the police holding Grace to a car outside.
So he's claiming they're printing off his nudes in the back from a troll website, which is kind of absurd when you think about it. He's framing it like they stole his nudes or something and they posted them all on that website, and not that he's flashed on TikTok multiple times. Like, I was scrolling through TikTok trying to find a funny Daniel Larson video to throw in the intro, and I got flashbanged by his dick. I'm not proud to say it, but it happened. He thinks he's working with the FBI, and that the FBI is in his chat telling him that the manager is printing off his nudes in the back. Like we just started, and this shit's already unbelievable. And then on top of that, they're arresting Grace Vanderwall outside, in which we actually do have the picture that Daniel Larson saw, and it does not look too believable. Like, look at this shit. That could literally be anybody. After learning all that crazy news from his chat, he decides to do the only sensible thing and put all the Olive Garden employees under citizen's arrest.
I'm performing a citizen's arrest, so the FBI is outside. I have more than enough photos coming in. Okay.
Who are you arresting?
I'm arresting every single person here. I'm arresting all employees.
So you're telling me that you're a celebrity?
Yes.
Okay, do people take pictures of celebrities, right?
Right, but you were back in back
Yes.
printing off documents.
I was?
You said that and it's on video.
That I was printing off documents?
Yes.
You're not filming me, correct?
I am legally required to.
No, you can actually just leave now.
I don't have to leave. The FBI is here. I have fucking photos.
Okay, sir, this is what I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna calm down right now. You're gonna stop filming me, or I'm gonna call the police and they're gonna remove you from here. I know that's what you want. I know that's what you're famous for on TikTok, but we are not doing this. You're gonna curse at me again, or you're going to leave.
I never cursed.
And now he's claiming that the FBI is already there, which, sure, I guess. But like the funniest shit is that she just says the simple thing, do not curse at me, and he's like, oh, I didn't curse, even though he cursed literally 20 seconds ago. But mind you, Grace Vanderwall is still getting arrested outside, but he just forgot, I guess, or doesn't care about that really. He only cares about his nudes getting printed. And this honestly might be real as fuck, because you can do whatever you want to my shorty, but please do not print my dick pics that I publicly shared. I feel like Daniel's got his priorities all out of whack. Because realistically, what would a restaurant do with your nudes? Like I'm just sitting there enjoying my food, having a good day, and I just look up and my waiter's waving a picture of my dick in front of me. Like, yeah, it'd be awful, nasty, gross even, but why does it realistically matter compared to your girlfriend getting arrested outside? But Daniel ain't the smartest, so we'll give him a little bit of a pass on this.
Okay, sir. What I'm going to tell you right now is you're going to stop filming and you're going to leave, or I'm going to call the police right now.
Go ahead and call the police.
Thank you.
I just got sent pictures and photos of Grace being assaulted. I'm not gonna just sit here and call those photos fake. I got sent them from the fucking FBI.
I don't got that much to say about these two clips, but he's arguing with the Olive Garden employees about why his girlfriend is being arrested outside by the police. I don't get the thought process here because this shit just does not add up. My car is getting broken into outside. Let me complain to the Walmart greeter. Like, we know Daniel ain't the brightest, but this is still insane.
I don't have weapons. I don't carry weapons on me. I just got notified that Rick Yorn at LBI Entertainment, who is the CEO, has called the head manager and the CEO of all Olive Gardens, and you're fired. They're working on firing you.
Hey, Daniel called the boss, and now she's out of a job. Let this be a lesson for all Daniel Larson haters that he will get you fired.
They might be on their way, but don't know yet. Wow. So in other words, the police are also trolling along with you. So, wow, that's a bunch of information now that I needed. Wow, thank you.
You're so welcome.
I may be a little lost here, but what the fuck does he mean the police are also trolling? The police are coming, but what I'm doing is obviously in the right, so they have to be trolling. This should be a really good thing for Daniel because if the police actually do come, he can tell them about the manager who was printing all his news in the back. But he's not going to do that, so how will our hero get out of this sticky situation?
Emergency, we need you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, whoa, no sir!
So he goes and pulls the fire alarm and then sits back exactly where he was. He did somehow get out of all this though because the police showed up and talked to him and somehow he got away scot-free. I don't know why the police let him free, but they did and he just continued to keep doing shit like this. If you didn't like the way I explained it because you thought it was shitty or something, here is Zachary Prince explaining it.
Alright, I'm here in the shed, giving my take on the Daniel Larson Olive Garden incident. And it was insane. He started at 50, kept escalating, and went to like 200 eventually. Anyways, they send, like, at the start, it wasn't that bad. He was waiting on Grace, and the rest of them, like the whole family, and then somebody sends him a picture of Grace being held against a a blonde-haired girl being held against a police van or something, getting arrested, and that was pretty insane. Then he just goes off the rails. He starts cursing at them, and the lady's like, don't curse. She's like, there are children in here, please don't curse. And then he goes, and he's like, the FBI sent me effing photos. And then the chat, he's like, okay, so I have to do this or something. And then he just pulls the fire alarm. And before he pulls the fire alarm, the guy goes, wait, and then boom. And then they're laughing, and then he's like, now they think that's funny. But like, what do you do in that situation when some gremlin just walks in and pulls a fire alarm and screams and curses at everybody? I would find that pretty funny. And then he goes and does it again. While talking to chat, he pulls the fire alarm mid-sentence and he just continues. He's like, yup, boom. Just pulls it. And then the police are there, or the fireman comes, and he's like, and they go, so what are you doing here? And he goes, Daniel's like, I'm waiting for the police. But I thought he was against the police because they have Grace locked up. And then he accused them at the beginning. I should have talked about this earlier, but he accused them at the beginning of printing his nudes out. Then a little bit early or later on, I think, he I can't remember what he does, but he like, this might be dead air.
Thank you, Zachary Prince, for your insightful commentary, and that's going to do it for the video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, join my Discord, follow me on Twitter, go watch my podcast, Rehooked, and I'm going to catch you guys next time.
Good night, everyone. I am turning off my phone for the night. Good night. If anyone calls me, I will not answer. Good night.
Yo, I've been liking this Jimmy guy. I'm not gonna lie.
I
I've
like
been
this
liking
Jimmy
my
guy.
tweets.
Dude,
Jimmy...
Dude!
What he says makes sense. He makes sense a lot.
This
of
guy
the
just gets it right.
Jimmy
Yeah, he
seems
just
like a
gets it right.
YN.